Good morning. This is Bob Ichino along with Mike Arnold from Path Trading Partners. This is an AM Path Chat covering the FX markets for May 4th. Some overnight news. Markets fell slightly. Asia Pacific, excluding Japan, fell about 0.3%. Japanese markets were closed. They remain closed until Monday. European stock 600 was about 0.4% higher as of this recording, and the S&P futures were up about 0.3% as well. Nothing really. I consider all that to be unchanged. We have to touch again on metals, specifically because it affects the Aussie dollar quite a bit. Iron ore finished limit down yesterday. Again, we've got concern about Chinese demand as well as Australian supply. They've been overproducing versus the global demand lately, and the inventories are building up. Base metals fell across the world. Nickel fell, aluminum fell, copper fell, silver fell, which is obviously only partially base. Gold fell as well, being precious. Speaking of Australia, Royal Bank of Australia, which is the Australian Central Bank, Philip Lowe, gave a speech yesterday, and he talked about a manageable downturn turning into something more serious in Australia. He wasn't predicting one, but he expressed concern about Australian household debt. My overall assessment is that the recent increase in household debt relative to our income has made the economy less resilient to future shocks, was the exact quote. He also talked about interest rates. He didn't make a prediction about them rising, but he said at some point they're going to rise. Here's the quote. At some point, interest rates in Australia will increase. To be clear, this is not a signal about near-term outlook for interest rates in Australia, but rather a reminder that over time we could expect interest rates to rise, not least because of global developments. And he also talked about the job market. We will want to see a continuation of these trends if overall growth in the economy is to pick up as we expect. Stronger growth in income would, of course, help people deal with the high levels of debt and rising house prices. He obviously doesn't realize people just continue to add debt in typical situation. But he mentioned the debt repeatedly in his speech. Jumping over to Europe, a snap survey of voters after the debate last night between Macron and Le Pen showed that 63% thought that the independent Emmanuel Macron won the debate last night. He continues to maintain his 20-point lead in recent polls. On the healthcare front, House Republicans plan to vote today on a measure to repeal Obamacare. I don't know if there's a replacement bill in that. I don't believe there is. I think it's just a repeal. I would be surprised if it didn't pass, although right now it doesn't look like they have the votes. I'd be very surprised if they're going to put a vote so quickly. I think this took a lot of people by surprise that there's actually going to be a vote today. And then on the economic calendar, today in the U.S., durable goods coming out at 9 Central, factory orders along with that. Continuing claims at 7:30 Central. And we got Eurozone retail sales year over year yesterday for March, 2.3 versus an expectation of 2.1%. So ever so slightly hot. A lot of attention is going to be paid going forward to April data. This was March data, but to April data because the Fed made comment of the first quarter weakness in the U.S. being transitory. That was in the statement yesterday after the Fed meeting. We've got a Mario Draghi speech at 10:30 Central Time in Lausanne, Switzerland. We'll be watching that. And Stephen Pallose from the Bank of Canada speaking this afternoon, 3:25 p.m. Central Time. Draghi is at 10:30 Central Time. So we'll be watching those things as well. We've got an RBA statement on monetary policy later tonight. And that's about it on the fundamental front. Mike, it is all yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Bob. So, Euro US dollar still caught in this range. Today tested our significant level area, 108.78 area. You see about around the lows here. Also found resistance from the overhead trend line right around the 109.20 to 30 mark. So those are really the lines in the stand. It is holding above the 25% GAN level, and we have the rotation zone possibly pushing it up. If it can get above this 109.47 area, which is pretty key, and then the 109.50 area, so 109.47 to 50, then you could see this pretty quick rise to the 109.98 level, which is essentially the 110 level. So that's going to be the next target, the upside. On a pullback, very minor support 109.03, major support right around that 108.78 level. And if that's broken, 108.55 is the next key level to watch for lower. Over to the pound. Pound pulled back into the rotation zone a bit. Didn't quite get down to our 25% GAN level and the rising trend line before bouncing back up. If it does head lower, 128.58 first level. Next level down is 128.30, and then we have the 128.15 level, which is very key. If that were to be broken, we'd be looking for the 127.78 to 80 area. On a continued rally higher, pretty strong resistance running around this 129.04, so the 129 to 129.04 area. Then if we get up above that 129.24, then above that, we're looking at 129.47 and finally 129.65. On a very strong rally or some major news that propels it higher, we'd be looking at the 130.40 level. Over to the US dollar, Japanese yen, continues its move higher. On a continued rally today, we've had some resistance right around this trend line 112.96 to 113 area. If we get through that 113.34, next level higher, and then above that 113.66. On a pullback, support 112.73, then not a lot of support till we get down to this 112.23 to 30 area prior. And then if that was broken, this 111.81 to the downside is going to be very key support. US dollar, Swiss franc. Tested this trend line today, which will be coming off tomorrow, but this 99.0708 area, key support right below that 99.02, and then if that's broken to the downside, major support right around this 98.89 area where we have a trend line and a cluster of GAN levels. On the upside, minor resistance right around this 99.47. Then we'd be looking upwards around the 99.57 to 99.60 area where we have today's previous high, 50% GAN level, and a declining 21. If that is broken, we're looking for 99.88. Aussie US dollar. Big drop. Bob talked about tied in with the ores and this possible slowing of China. Found some support yesterday at our 74.23 112 GAN level. Already traded down to below the 125 GAN level now, which is 74.05. If it does continue lower, next levels are 73.81 and 73.70. On a turnaround and move back higher, very minor resistance right around the 74.05. Then we'd be looking for the 74.23 level, then a return to the breakdown zone right around the 74.41 area. US dollar, Canadian dollar, sort of neutral for today, slightly down on the day. If it continues lower, the 136.91 is going to be some key support. Let me redraw this trend line to the correct spot. Then we'd be looking for the 136.65 to 136.59 area. And then we'd, on a big move down, 136.40 area and 136.24. On a turnaround and a push higher, some minor resistance around today's high, 134.45. Then we come in at the trend line, so 137.52. So that 45 to 52 area is going to be some resistance. Then we're looking at 137.57. If that is broken, then we'd be looking for 138.24 on the next push higher. US dollar, Mexican peso. Trading both sides. We have a new lower trend line in here. At this point, it's moving up, found some resistance right around this 1897.99 area, just slightly above today's high, which is a 37.5 Gann level. If that is broken to the upside, then we're looking for 1902.77, where you have a flat 50 and a significant level. If that's broken, 1906.39, followed by 1908.49. On a move back lower, 1890.24, followed by 1887.48, and then we have a rising 8 coming in and a flat 21, so flat 21, 1882.16, and then a big turnaround, 1876.98. That's all we have for you. Back to you, Bob.
Thank you, Mike. I talked in the intro about April data being important. While Mike was talking, we got the release of the Challenger report. That's Challenger, Gray, and Christmas's reports of planned layoffs, and the planned layoffs fell. In other words, the situation's better for American workers. U.S. employers announced plans in April to cut 36,602 jobs, which is a 15% decrease from March, and it's also a 43% decrease from April of 2016. Thanks for watching. If you like what we're doing, click like and hit the subscribe button, and we will talk to you in the next Path Chat. Cheers, everyone.